Trailcam Dan, what did he see? A beaver, a badger, a fox or a bee? Trailcam Dan, what did he see? A beaver, a badger, a fox or a bee? Good morning and welcome. Right, just going through my computer this morning. Don't know if anyone else has an Apple Mac, but you're constantly having to clean it. You can't keep files on here because it takes up the memory so quickly, otherwise you have to put them on an external hard drive. So anyway, I was just trying to clean this up this morning, and I found some old footage, and I thought I'll just throw all this into one video. I was basically doing food experiments with the trail cameras out in the woods. Various foods. Most of them, the footage just wasn't good enough for a video, so I've just kept them basically. They've just been sat here for, when was this from? I believe this might have even been April. Can it have been April? Could it have been that long ago? No. July. Most of this is from the beginning of July. So, what gave me the idea for this? I think I did put one or two of these videos up, but the rest I've just kept. What gave me the idea for this was the American ones. I don't know if you've seen the American ones where they leave food out in the woods for 48 hours and see what animals eat the food. I tried very similar things, but the problem is in America they've got such a variety of animals, like raccoons for example and possums, and they'll come along and eat anything. Over here we are pretty restricted. You know, you've got your rabbits, you've got your deer, you've got your badgers, you've got your hedgehogs, there's a few birds. There's not much to get on camera, and a lot of them don't like the things the American trash eaters will eat, like raccoons. So anyway, I'm going to show you the footage I've got. Stay tuned because the very last one is fantastic. It's something I caught when I was out with JP and Sammy, when me and Mazzy went to stay with them recently. So watch out for that one. But let's start with meat versus fruit. I'm interested to find out if they prefer fruit or meat. Obviously it depends on the animal, but some animals eat both. And I'll be very interested to see if the animals are on a diet and they choose the healthy option, or they want some good proper meat. So, how are we going to do this experiment? We are using the Campark what's it called? C07, something like that. It's the 07 model Campark. And we are going to be feeding them. We've got a grapefruit which I'm going to be cutting in half or maybe quarters, and we have got some ham which has just gone out of date, so I wasted my money there. It's not even cheap stuff, look, 2 for £5. It was good ham, finely sliced Wiltshire cured ham. I could eat that now actually if it was just today's date. I'd eat that. So I'm going to leave these side by side, tiny little gap, and we're going to see what the animals prefer. So my main aim is not to touch the fruit. Now I'm going to have to touch the skin of that, but I'm not going to touch the meat itself. Simply a matter of getting in it. Oh, I might need the knife for that. Get in the meat and just move it around a bit, just loosen it up, let the smells out. Now I'm expecting this to be full of flies very shortly, but hey, they're not going to take it away with them, are they? Hopefully an animal is not just going to pick it up and disappear. I want it to eat it in front of the camera. The grapefruit, here we go. Oh, I better take the sticker off, hadn't I? Oh yeah, it's foil as well. Good job I noticed that. Right, we're going to cut this in half. Believe it or not, I'm coming up to 50 years old, and this is the first time I've ever cut a melon in half, I think. I've never eaten the stuff. Right, it's quite hard actually. I thought it was going to be quite soft in the middle. Well, it is, it's juicy, but it's not runny. So I am going to cut it into at least thirds. But again, I don't want an animal to run off with it. I want it to chomp on it in front of the camera. So I'm going to leave it like that. Yeah, if I were an animal and I liked melon, I'd eat it. I'd definitely eat that. Right. So we're going to leave them out for 2 days, maybe 3 days, and then come back and see what happens and see what the trail cam picks up. Ooh, this is exciting. What would you have? You know, if you're an animal, you're in woods, you're dawdling along, minding your own business, what would you eat? Would you go for a bit of fruit or some meat? All vegetarians out there are saying, oh, definitely fruit, definitely fruit. And anyone who isn't a vegetarian is going to say, oh, definitely the meat, definitely the meat. So it's already attracting the flies. To be expected, not worried about that. I'm expecting unwanted guests. There's a lot of mice. We are in the middle of farmland. There's thousands of mice around the farmland. And they do come in here. There's rats as well. Giant rat I've seen in here. So I am expecting a bit of that. But the only problem with it is, if they see something small enough that they can carry away, I've put peas out before. And all the mice came all night long and took all the peas. And all my trail cam picked up was about 300 images of a mouse coming, getting a pea and eating it, rolling it away. That's all I got all night. So, something a bit bigger. The mice can't take that. Honestly, the giant rat probably could eat one of them in one go. But we're going to leave that there and we will come back in 2 or 3 days. I don't think it'll be 3. I don't think I can wait that long. I'm too excited to see the results. Will it be daytime? Will it be night time? We'll have to wait and see. So come back. Well, don't come back. You stay here. You don't have to wait 2 or 3 days, do you? You've got it coming up right now. I've just been setting my other trail cams out. Thought I'd just quickly return to this one just to see if there's any movement since we put it there. I just saw quite a lot of quite big blue bottles and small flies. They've all flown off now, but they're very attracted to it. Yeah, we'll leave that be. Come back in a few days. Not you, me. So we've just seen a rabbit. It's the fattest rabbit I've ever seen in my life. It was that big. It wasn't a hare, it was a big fat rabbit. Now he came from over here, but it doesn't look like he's eaten anything off his experiment, has he? It's all still here. This is meat versus fruit.
Oh. Oh yes, yes.
Nothing has eaten it.
Not even a mouthful.
Not even a nibble looking at that.
Not even an insect.
Oh, this is ridiculous. Okay, let me check the trail cam footage, see if anything has actually been there. This isn't good. If you look there, the 4 pieces of melon are together, and on the next clip, one of them's moved.
Yes. That'll be interesting.
I don't know if anything has actually caught that. On the trail cam, we'll have to wait and see.
Yes.
I don't think it has.
Unless if it just sort of rolled down. Might, don't know.
Oh, we have nighttime deer footage, having a little sniff around.
Ooh.
But I don't think it's eating anything. And then a squirrel or a rabbit. A few daytime birds, and then us. So, Mazzy, we're going to have to leave this here, give it another day or 2, yeah?
48 hours.
What will happen to fruit and meat out in the woods? Day 3. 72 hours these have been out in the woods now. Nothing is touching them. Flies all over the melon. It doesn't look like anything's eaten the meat. Oh dear. I'll check the trail cam anyway, but I'm not too excited. Right, let's just ignore day 3, yeah? I think I turned the trail cam onto off instead of on. Luckily we've still got days 1 and 2. It doesn't look like anything's happened on day 3 anyway, so we'll just leave that going for another day or 2. These things happen. Always check your cameras, make sure you've got it on right before you leave. So it started out with a rabbit. One tiny sniff, thinking what's going on here? Nah, that isn't normal. That isn't what I'd normally eat. I'm off. Wasn't interested. You can see the ham there, it's beautiful ham and a fresh watermelon. Squirrel just went straight past it. Not a care in the world. And there we have the black mink. Can you remember the black mink? So not at all interested in the food. That thing wanted mice, rats, things like that, and it's probably got one in its mouth there, a little baby rabbit probably. And then we have a young deer there, sniffing around at the ham. I thought that would have gone for the watermelon, I did. Wasn't interested. Rabbit comes back. You know, this watermelon, it does smell quite nice. But do I want it? Nah. Squirrel, no. Not even looking at it. Oh, the squirrel did have a little sniff of the ham then. And the watermelon, but no, not interested at all. Sorry about the noise in the background, it's Mazzy drying her hair. You know, we had a few animals there, it were okay. It were an experiment. Nothing ate the food, never mind. So, we put a few out at the same time, by the way, and this is another one we put out, which was rice pudding, plain flavoured rice pudding against raspberry flavoured rice pudding. Now I thought this one would go well because it's nice and wet and moist, and I thought they'd get some liquids out of it. Did it work? Just watch the video. Nightmare. I'm trying to use food which we haven't eaten, or the date's getting a bit close to out of date, or it is out of date, and I don't want to risk it. Today we have got some rice pudding. Now oddly enough, I had some plain rice pudding, little tubs, and Mazzy had some raspberry rice puddings which were frozen. We've thawed them out and we've got both types now. I don't even think they're out of date, but we've had a bit of a problem with our fridge at the moment, and the temperature overnight has been going up and down, so I don't want to risk, especially the frozen one, don't want to risk them. So I looked it up on the internet, because I think the main culprit, the main person who might eat these, are the badgers. Because we have badger activity here. I see them coming up here and down there, backwards and forwards. It happens. So I'm thinking they're going to eat it. So I did Google it. Can badgers eat rice pudding? It says, yeah. Oh yeah, they love rice pudding. Absolutely love rice pudding. Now I know badgers love raspberries because I put some raspberries out for them and they devoured it. All the fresh fruit, they absolutely loved it. So we are doing an experiment to see if they will prefer plain milky rice pudding or raspberry rice pudding. Could be quite interesting. I think they'll go for the raspberry myself, because I know they'll love raspberries, but we'll see, Let's get these out there, empty them on the... Do I empty them or do I leave them in the pots? You know what, with these I might leave them in the pots, because it might just soak into the ground, especially if it rains, and they can just lick the pots out, can't they? yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Just take the lids off, make sure there's nothing dangerous for them or plastics around, and leave them here. So there we have it. 4 beautiful tubs of rice pudding. I do love rice pudding, especially homemade rice pudding. But yeah, this is a special treat for whichever animals want them. It might be birds who come along. We have a woodpecker. I've got a woodpecker just here about a week ago. It could be the deer. They've been chewing on this tree a couple of weeks ago. Could be anything. Could be a lion, a giraffe, walrus, rhinoceros, dinosaur. It could be anything, couldn't it? And it could be the fox as well. So we are going to leave them there. Our trail cam of choice for this one is the Campark TC06. And I've just heard I just forgot. Pigeons do nest up here as well, and they're around here all the time. And rabbits. I can see the pigeons coming for this. But time will tell. Right, let me get rid of my rubbish. Obviously I'm going to collect the pots when I come back. We will leave them out for 2 to 3 days. We will see, and then I'll come back and see what has happened. Does anything eat them? It might be that no animals like this stuff. But my guess is something will. See you in a few days. Or for you, right now. So whilst I've been busy putting out all my other trail cams, just thought I'd pop back, see if there's any action whatsoever. I know there's not going to be animals whilst I'm about, but I'm just more interested in the flies really, see if the flies are getting attracted to these things. We have 1 fly. That is it. Okay, not much activity there. Right, we shall leave that, get our scents out of here, and return very soon. Here I am out with my lovely lady, Mrs. Camdan.
Hey.
Not Jean-Claude Van Damme, Mrs. Camdan. We did an experiment. Do any of the animals eat or prefer normal rice pudding or raspberry rice pudding? Let's go see if there's any action.
I know which one I'd go for.
Which would you go for?
The raspberry.
Raspberry?
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, it's all still there, Mazzy.
No.
Has something had a little nibble at this one? I'm not sure. Right, let me check the trail cam, see if we've had any action at all. Well, we've got 12 images. Quite a lot of them are going to be me setting it up. Most of them. Okay, we have a nighttime image. Let me have a quick watch of that. See if I can see anything. I can't. That was a pigeon in the background.
Oh.
We've got a couple of nighttime. There's definitely a magpie here in the morning.
Oh.
But I think that's about it. So, we have to leave it longer, Mazzy. We will come back to the experiments in 2 more days. Hopefully all the cameras, batteries are going to hold up. I'd love some rice pudding. What's wrong with them? So here we go. Rice pudding versus raspberry rice pudding, day number 3. 72 hours later. Nothing, 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 nothing. Just a couple of flies. Absolute rubbish. I'm going to give this 2 more days and that's it. Experiment over. So you'll probably agree with me. Bit of a disaster, them 2 experiments didn't really work. The animals weren't interested. Never mind. Now I have got another one. Dog food versus cat food. But I think I'll save that for another video. I think I've got a bit more footage on that and I think there's badges on that. So we'll save that one. But don't worry, I'm not leaving this video without giving you something very, very, very special. Something I've never even seen with my naked eyes before, as far as I can ever remember. A kingfisher. A kingfisher. So we've just met up with JP and Sammy down in Norfolk, and we all just sat down outside the van, and Sammy says, "Oh, there's a kingfisher, there's a kingfisher." And where it was, if you know anything about kingfishers, they will always perch above the water looking for fish. And they have like a routine, they're very territorial. They'll go from perch to perch and have a set routine of where they go. So JP said, well, there's a tree right near that perch, get a trail camera on it, point it at that branch and it will come back. So we got the camera on there and it did come back. So coming up is some amazing kingfisher footage, which includes a kingfisher with a stick in its mouth smacking it on the branch. Now, I asked JP what that's all about, and he's never seen that before with a kingfisher. They do that with fish to kill them, bang their heads on the branches, but it was doing it with a twig. So all he can think is it might have been a juvenile, a new born kingfisher practicing how to kill fish with a twig. I don't know if anyone knows any different, let me know in the comments, but I'll leave you with this footage now, and at the end we've also got a muntjac deer crossing across the beck as well, so watch this one. So the first animal, a tiny little mouse there having a little sniff, which was unusual because we haven't got many mice in there at this time of year. They're all there now because all the fields have been harvested. Look, he's definitely having a little drink of the raspberry. He went straight past the plane and straight to the raspberry. So the smell... Oh, look, he's actually eating. Yeah, he's eating a grain of rice there. But that's all he wants. He really isn't that interested. That was a robin, just quickly flew into shot. And then a big magpie. Just thinking it's a bit too unusual, is this? What's going on? Having a look at both of them. Yeah, that ain't normal. That ain't normal. But he keeps coming back. It's as if he knows there's a camera on him, and he thinks as soon as he touches it, he's going to get shot or something. And then a tiny little bird there. I think that was the robin as well, but he wasn't interested in the rice. Did you like that one? Good. Right, that's the end of this video. I'm going to try and post more videos now. I've been slacking a little bit, but we've been very busy. If you've got any ideas of what I can do for videos, please let me know. I have got another trail cam review to do. Where is it? Oh, it's under here somewhere. Oh, I've got this one coming up. I need to get this in the woods today. And anyway, I will show you the dog food and cat food one on a separate day, and there's going to be some photography coming up as well. So thanks for watching, see you all soon, you take care, bye bye.
Trail cam Dan, what did he see? A beaver, a badger, a fox or a bee? Trail cam Dan, what did he see? A beaver, a badger, a fox or a bee?